They are live stream.
Dr. Neha, you can start.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Myself, Dr. Neha Singh Mandade. I am from the digital team of Indian Association of Physiotherapists. Indian Association of Physiotherapists Women Cell welcomes you all for today's webinar that is to be conducted by IAPWC Thane district team with the topic of learn the art of converting your liabilities into assets. And we have our guest speakers as Ms. Jasmeena Sanghani ma'am. And I also would like to extend my thank and welcome to Dr. Sanjeev Jha sir, who is IAP president, Dr. Ruchi Varshney ma'am, who is IAP Women Cells national head, with Dr. Pooja Kamble being the West zonal head, and Dr. Suvarna Ganveer ma'am being the state coordinator, and Dr. Snehal Patel ma'am being the state joint coordinator, along with state sub coordinators as Dr. Uttara Mohan, Dr. Priya Karandi, and Dr. Nirali Sangvi. We welcome you all for today's webinar. I would now like to hand over ahead to take this session be started to Dr. Smriti ma'am. Ma'am, over to you. Thank you from my side.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neha ma'am. And first of all, apologies to everyone for the delay in session because of rains and network issues. The rain gods asked us to delay it by half an hour to hear some wisdom from Ms. Jasmeena. So I would like to introduce IAPWC. It's always an honor to do that. IAP Women Cell functions under the guidance of National Head Dr. Ruchi Vashni ma'am and IAP President Dr. Sanjeev Jha. We have 5 zones in India with the heads for each. Dr. Pooja Kamble ma'am is the West Zone head. The state team of IPWC Maharashtra includes State Coordinator Dr. Suvarna Ganveer ma'am, Joint Coordinator Dr. Snehal Patel, and Sub Coordinators Dr. Uttara Mohan, Dr. Priya Karande, and Dr. Nirali Sangvi. We have 18 district committees in the state of Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, IAP Women's Cell has conducted many low-cost activities like CMEs, workshops, conferences, webinars, public awareness camps, health camp, blood donation camps in various districts since 2018. In the years 2019, 2021, 22, 23, and 24, IAP Women's Cell Maharashtra State has received award for Best IAP Women's Cell State Team. Today's webinar is on financial literacy for physiotherapists and is by Ms. Jasmeena Sanghani, and it is conducted by IAP Women's Cell Thane District. Myself, Dr. Smriti Sorte, I am the district coordinator. Dr. Jayagandha Rathod and Dr. Drishti Patange are the district sub-coordinators. I would like to introduce our resource person, Ms. Jasmeena Singhani. She is the financial advisor for last 20 years plus and is authorized loan distributor partner with more than 80 plus banks. I'm happy to share that she is All India Gold Medalist in Economics and is graduated from Podar College of Commerce and Economics in 2001. She has a lot of certification in her list, and I think it will take us another session to say that. Without wasting time, I would request Jasmeena Madam to please start with the session and enhance us on how financial literacy can help us all. Thank you. Over to Jasmeena.
Thank you, Dr. Smriti. First of all, thanks to the association for giving me this opportunity to give a small idea about what financial planning is and how it makes difference to somebody's life. So, and special thanks to Dr. Smriti for introducing me to this platform. And here we start. Just allow me to share the screen. Okay, so is the screen visible to all of you? Or rather, should I ask, are we good to go?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So today, a very warm welcome to all of you on this platform, whoever has boarded. Today, we are going to learn the art of converting your liabilities into assets. And we have this beautiful opportunity present in alliance with the Indian Association of Physiotherapists, Women's in Thane District Branch, Maharashtra. So the speaker for the day is myself, Jasmeena Sangnani. And we like as we say as the session is being said, so this is something our speciality. Today liabilities you can create very easily, but where creating liabilities is easy, creating assets is even easier with Snehadeep Enterprises, your one-stop finance mart. uh, these are our contact details. You can reach us at any point in time. So let's begin with a very positive note that our attitude towards the life determines our life's attitude towards us. We have often heard, like, or we often learn from our childhood that whatever we sow, we reap in. So today we are going to plant out some assets for us, something that will create assets in our life for our liabilities. So, since I want the sessions to be, very lively, asking somebody to keep the cameras on or put the chat on the inbox is something, a trick which everyone wants to do it so that you ensure that, I'm just not talking alone and you all are with me. But we would do something different, like taking financial decisions. I believe you should be independent, like you should be able to take your own financial decisions. So with that same attitude, I would like you all to request one small thing: just keep a small pen, paper, or a notepad on your phone, and in between whenever I ask you a question, you have to say yes or no for it. Since the finances are truly, or very personal thing about us, I would not ask you to share it on the inbox or anywhere, but you can just note it down. And end of the sessions, if you have 5 yes or 5 no's or mix of yes and no, you will have a reason to look into your finances closely. So let's start from here, from liability to liability. So my first question goes is, are most of us running one or the other liability today? So if your answer is, just record it for your own records. Here we start. So what are the liabilities? Like, we run multiple loans, may it be a home loan, a personal loan, a car loan, a loan for education purpose, or machinery loans, or anything. Like maybe nowadays, so even small durable consumer goods also we run loans. So these are all liabilities. Loans are our liabilities. Now what happens is, why we don't move from this liability to assets, that is what the session would cover, and how to move from this liabilities to the assets. So we all get credits, okay? We are professionals, we are business entrepreneurs, so, or salaried at times. So we all get credits, right, in some of the other forms. And with this credits are nothing but our income. So what happens is, we want this income to be creating an asset for us. But before we create this asset comes what? Debits. We have to make the payments at the same time. May it be electrical bills, or may it be salaries, or may it be our trial expenses, or whatsoever day-to-day expenses. So we go from our credits to our income. We go more towards our debits and expenses before we create assets, and hence we are stuck in this liability to liability circle. And today we will see if we can break this circle. So what is the right interpretation of calling asset when you buy a liability? The most important liability that most of us buy is our home loan. So we can, I mean, how do we interpret this as an asset? Whether it may be a home, a gold accumulation that you do, or maybe you're buying a machinery or equipment, you buy a life insurance, or you buy other gadgets like laptops are there, phones are there, or call our business or a profession that we are practicing. Out of this, what all things you can call as an asset? So what happens is, the home that we buy, if, or the property that we are self-consuming it, we do not consider it as an asset. To consider anything as an asset, that it is very important that it is generating revenues for you, or it is further generating an income for you. If you talk about gold, yes, in a way it is an asset, but if it is beyond a particular limit, like if it is your day-to-day use thing, you cannot call it as an asset, but you can call it as your emergency fund. Machineries and equipments, they will get used in a particular, or they would be consumed, or they would be replaced soon because the technology is soon developing. So may it or may not be called as an asset. Your life insurance is something, you know, it is going to help you, help your loved ones or dear ones after you're there. But yes, if you strategize your life insurance, it can be considered as an asset. Miscellaneous gadgets, that would again disappear, and business or a profession is something you can pass on that thing further to your next generation. So yes, it is something that is going to create revenues for you, and it will add income further. So from this whole journey of liabilities to assets are dependent on two major divisional fronts. Since most of us today, we are at professionals, so we would talk on both the prospect, individual prospect and from the business prospect. So financial planning is not something, you know, you will just randomly do it. Like, just don't go by, you know, pick up of the things. Okay, I will today, I'll do this, tomorrow I will go for this particular planning. It is something that it should sink somewhere. So first we look towards it as a liability to asset and individual's journey. So if you're running a business, whatever, or a profession, so look towards it that whatever it is earning, out of that a fix और एक specific amount जो होता है ना अपने लिए, like आप खुद भी अगर आपका क्लिनिक है, आपके पास दो तीन और भी डॉक्टर्स है साथ में, so in that whole thing, are you withdrawing a fixed salary for yourself? That is most important, because यहाँ पे आप आपका individual या आपका self planning शुरू करते हैं. Second is, you would have heard, you know, when our parents were earning and they were running a marriage and a family. Gradually, जब भी उन्होंने हमारे जनरेशन के लिए रिश्ता देखना शुरू किया, तो काफी लड़कों का ये डिमांड आया कि आई वांट अ वर्किंग वाइफ. ओके, what was that intent of a working wife is कि एक जन की इनकम पे इंसान घर खींच लेता है कैसे ना कैसे, बट हम कभी आगे की प्लानिंग या अपना अपग्रेड नहीं कर सकते. तो इट वाज सेड दैट आई वांट अ वर्किंग पार्टनर. अब तो बाय डिफॉल्ट एवरीबडी इज वर्किंग, इवन इफ हाउसवाइफ भी बोल दो तो वो भी घर से कुछ ना कुछ तो कर ही रहे होते. सो व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट डिमांड ऑफ दिस जनरेशन इज वी वांट अ पैसिव इनकम. मतलब हमारी एक अर्निंग है और हमको एक सपोर्टिंग इनकम चाहिए. तो वो कहाँ से शुरू होती है? जब आपका मनी स्टार्ट्स वर्किंग. तो मनी विल कम फ्रॉम वन इज योर बिजनेस, दैट इज योर पर्सनल इनकम, एंड दैट अनदर वुड बी योर business income. Now, why you want that? Why your money should work? Because from whatever you work, your whatever income you're going to get to your work, that will first of all also take care of your personal expenses, your family needs wherever you're contributing it. And of course, then you want to create assets. So for that additional requirement, you have to make a part of your money that you've earned, work for it. You need to hedge your liabilities. अब लाइबिलिटीज क्यों हेज करनी होती है? आई गिव यू अ वेरी स्मॉल एग्जांपल कि ऐसा होता है ना कि छोटे छोटे, इफ यू सी डोमेस्टिक वर्कर्स होते हैं या इवन से हाउसवाइफ भी होती है, उनको भी आपने देखा होगा 1000 2000 3000 की सेविंग्स करते हैं वो लोग, कहीं ना कहीं उसको इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. अगर समझ में नहीं आता है तो वो लोग वीसी खोलते हैं, and you know we get a larger chunk at one time and then उसमें से हम कुछ ले पाए. बट होता क्या है, इफ गॉड फॉरबिड्स, इफ सम इमरजेंसी कम्स इन द फैमिली, तो आपकी वो सारी सेविंग्स, वो सारे साल भर का जो अक्यूमुलेशन है, वो just in this fraction of seconds, minutes, or maybe hour or a day, it just goes off. So it is very important that we understand what is the risk. Like in an individual, the highest risk would be a medical emergency. The doctors, most of us know. So medical emergencies are something 1.5 lakh 3 lakh अब आपका savings तो ऐसे wipe कर लेता है. So that is more important. You meet with a small accident, so personal accidental hedging is very important. Then as per your profession. मतलब अगर हम लोग professionals है who are into service industry, if something goes wrong with somebody, nowadays to reach a consumer forum or to any other regulator and put up a case is very easy for the consumer or the for the patients or anybody. So are we ready to fight against that? So there are multiple hedging options available. टेकिंग रिस्क, अब आप जैसे आप बिजनेस करते हो तो रिस्क लेते हो, वैसे ही when you put anything to the work, anything at work, it is a risk. तो जब आप पर्सनल फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग कर रहे हो तो आपका रिस्क जो है, द क्वांटम ऑफ द रिस्क हैज टू बी कैलकुलेटेड. अब ये कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं हम? ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं बोलूँ कि भाई मेरा तो एटीट्यूड एकदम मस्त है और तुम दाव लगाओ, मैं तो मुझे तो ज्योतिष ने बोला है कि मैं तो अच्छा ही कमा लूंगी. दैट्स नॉट द वे. Or it is not about, I have that leverage. What is calculated risk is, in a business, we'll go on another slide, but in a personal fund, we would talk first. Okay, suppose if I have that long term for my goal, first of all, anything that you are planning has to be associated with a goal. We need to understand what is that period in which, suppose if you are buying a loan, तो you yourself should be confident कि भाई मैं 5 साल 10 साल जो भी लोन ले रहा हूँ या ले रही हूँ, तो I am capable to pay that. अब उस लोन को पे करने के लिए आई हैव couple of months का EMI और a particular एक रिस्क एपेटाइट होता है कि मुझे इतने महीने का मेरे पास प्रोविजन है कि अब कुछ आगे पीछे हुआ तो. So this is how you calculate your risk, first on the basis of the time factor that you have it. That is the most important thing. Second, it is always a product mix. Like अगर मेरी एक particular चीज, जैसे आप क्लिनिक में भी किसी को हायर करते तो होता है कि एक सीनियर डॉक्टर है, एक जूनियर डॉक्टर है. अगर जूनियर डॉक्टर कहीं पे कुछ रुक गया या इज कंफ्यूज्ड, तो सीनियर डॉक्टर कैन मैनेज इट आउट इन बिटवीन. तो सेम विथ फाइनेंसेस ऑल्सो, कि कहीं पे आपने कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट स्ट्रेटेजी बनाया या कोई लाइबिलिटी उठाई, तो आर यू हैविंग अ बैकअप फॉर दैट? दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Then comes when your individual goals are set. Okay, then as an individual, when you're planning it na, there are always two other feathers that we have. One is our family and one is our business. So family से क्या होता है कि जब आप कोई भी गोल सेटिंग करते हो लाइफ में, या जब आप असेट्स क्रिएट करना चाहते हो, so somewhere you family or whoever people who are associated with you in the business, they should be on a common goal. Matlab, we all should be in one direction. So directions are very important. And credit and incomes. What is the connection is we get credits. Matlab, now again, another chance for all of you to say yes or no. Just note it down. कि हमारे सबकी incoming money is higher than our outgoing money. Yes. अब होता क्या है, हमारे पास there is an incoming flow. We get credits, as I said on the first slide. बट हमारे एक्सपेंसेस जो होते हैं ना, वो इस तरीके से चले जाते हैं कि देन वॉट एवर इज लेफ्ट आउट वी कीप इट इन द सेविंग. हम वहीं पे अक्यूमुलेट कर रहे होते पैसा, सोचते कि भाई अगर मुझे प्रॉपर्टी खरीदनी है, मुझे डाउन पेमेंट चाहिए, मेरा बच्चा नेक्स्ट ईयर ग्रेजुएशन में जाएगा, मुझे पैसे चाहिए. बट अनलेस यू इन्वेस्ट दैट मनी, you will not reach your goals. What is the difference between savings and investment? I'll just give you an example. हम हर महीना 10-10 हजार रुपया सेविंग्स बैंक में रख रहे, सोच रहे 2 साल बाद मेरा बेटा ग्रेजुएशन में आएगा, उसको 2.5 लाख रुपया चाहिए. 2.5 लाख रुपया वैल्यू आज की है, 2 साल बाद वो 2.5 लाख का वैल्यू विल इंक्रीज टू 3 लाख, 3.5 लाख और 3.25 lakhs ऑल्सो, वी डोंट नो. सो जब हम सेविंग्स में जमा कर रहे हैं ना, तो जब हमारा वो टाइम आता है फॉर विच यू आर अक्यूमुलेटिंग मनी, दैट असेट विच यू वांट टू अक्वायर, मे इट बी मशीन ऑल्सो, और मशीन लेनी है, मैं सेविंग्स में पैसा रख रही हूँ, मशीन उस 2 साल के बाद उसकी रेट वैल्यू बढ़ेगी. अ प्रॉपर्टी दैट आई वांट टू बाय, आज 20 लाख का डाउन पेमेंट लग रहा है, कल 30 लाख का लगेगा. Even in home loans nowadays, the ratios have changed, where when and at what contribution you should be buying a house. So this is where your financial advisor or a consultant or a helper helps you understand what is required, and to achieve that, what would be the inflations or the other rates impacting the rate of that goal or a dream. And that is why investment is important, because that investment, one thing that makes difference is कि वो जो चीज मुझे तब खरीदनी है मैं उसकी वैल्यू पे तब अवेलेबल रहूंगी विथ माय मनी कार्ड. So I'll this is how it makes difference to the life. So with a self individual planning, I would just give you one small example of it. एक normal ticket size होता है home loan का. Why I have taken a home loan example is because this is something very running liability. मतलब आज आज का या 5 years back from now if I look at it, or maybe say a trend where we guys got married, it was the scene was such कि हमारे पेरेंट्स ऐसे रेडी थे 20 लाख 10 लाख रुपया लेके कि भाई 10 लाख रुपया मैं दूंगा बट तू 25-30 लाख का लाइबिलिटी खरीद, घर खरीदो, and then only you get married. Or if you get married with that same old house, then your wife or would be behind you to buy a new house. Let's buy a liability. If we are salaried professional or maybe a professional earning an income, we had this mindset कि मेरे सैलरी में से इतना ईएमआई देना ही है मुझे और इतने में मुझे घर चलाना है. एंड लुक एट द बैंकर्स, दे आर ऑल्सो सो वाइज. मतलब तुम्हारे पास घर चलाने जितना पैसा रख दिया ना अगर, तो बाकी का ही wants to acquire as an EMI into the bank somehow. तो आपको कैसे भी करके लोन पहले बेच के जाएगा. And we all are running under the liabilities, most of us. So what happens is, suppose if you buy a classic example of 50 lakh rupees, आज का running rate approximately 8.75 चल रहा है. And एक normal banker, मतलब normal you walk into any bank, they will say home loan for 20 years minimum. अगर आपका एज विद इन 30 है तो he'll try to sell you for 30 years. और वो थोड़ा बहुत स्पैन रखेगा क्योंकि उसको रेट्स बढ़ाने हैं, चार्जेस बढ़ाने हैं, मार्जिन बढ़ाने हैं, तो वो आगे तक का टेन्योर बढ़ाएगा, आपका ईएमआई तो बढ़ाना नहीं उसको. So what happens in first example, this first table, if you this table if you look at, so what happens is it is saying that 50 lakhs ka loan, if you're running at 8.75%, your EMI comes to approximately 44,000 rupees. And in this whole tenure, you will pay an interest of 56 lakh rupees. So आप बैंक को 20 साल में पैसा डबल करके 1,06,000 रुपया भरोगे. In the second table, it says कि 50 lakhs का अगर आप 15 साल के लिए लेते हो तो आपका EMI 49,000 अप्रोक्सीमेट 50,000 हो जाएगा. बट आप इंटरेस्ट पे करोगे 89 lakhs, सॉरी 90 lakh rupees. सो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 5 साल का टेन्योर अगर आप कम लेते हो और अगर 4-5 हजार रुपया EMI एक्स्ट्रा पे कर पा रहे हो, या you would have watched few Instagram videos which would say कि pay an extra EMI in a year and you can downsize your loan by 5 years. तो वो फंडा इस पे काम करता है कि आप एक एक्स्ट्रा EMI नहीं करके आप 15 साल का टेन्योर कर लो और 5,000 रुपया, मतलब 50,000 इज मोटा मोटी 1 ईयर में अगर आप देखो तो 5,000 यू आर पेइंग एवरी मंथ, राइट. सो 50,000 एक्स्ट्रा, 50,000 का एक एक्स्ट्रा EMI आप पे करो, या यू पे व्हाट यू से, you increase your EMI a little bit and reduce your tenure, you save 17 lakh rupees ka overall interest in the tenure. Now in a financial planning, we twist it, we mix the products. Okay, कोई वनीला प्रोडक्ट नहीं दिया जाता है, थोड़ा बहुत इसका तो उसका सबको मिला के एक मस्त फालूदा बनाया जाता है. So we would suggest कि you take a loan of 50 lakh rupees, same interest पे, you take a tenure of 25 years, your EMI gets reduced to 41,000. So second case में 50,000 है, इसमें 41,000 है, और first case में was 44,000 है. तो एक मोटा मोटी डिफरेंस देखे तो अगर 20 years से अगर मैं डिविएशन या स्प्रेड देखती हूँ तो 3,500-4 हजार का है, अगर सेकेंड सिनेरियो से देखती हूँ तो 9-10 हजार का है. Now this 10,000, whatever EMI I am saving on, okay, this 10,000 rupees, if I invest it in a mutual fund, एकदम बेसिक वाला, एकदम बोलेंगे ना मॉडरेट रिस्क वाला फंड उठाते हैं, तो दैट गिव्स यू अ कंपाउंडिंग बेसिस पे 12% रिटर्न्स. नाउ 25 years अगर मेरी EMI चल रही है एंड पैरेलली दैट SIP इज आल्सो रनिंग, जब मैं लोन रीपे कर लेती हूँ, मैं 1 crore 24 lakhs अप्रोक्सीमेटली रीपे करती हूँ बैंक को. So that means I have given how much, 75 lakhs का interest to them. अब ये घर मेरा जो है 50 लाख का जिसपे मैंने लोन लिया, वो अगर 70 लाख का लिया है तभी, और 20-25 साल के बाद में 7 करोड़ का भी हो गया, तो आई विल नॉट सेल इट एंड लीव ऑन द रोड साइड, आई स्टिल कंटिन्यू टू स्टे इन इट, राइट. Is this House going to give rent to me? No, because I am myself staying in it. So that is why I called it कि if you are self-occupying this property, you do not call it as an asset because it is not generating you any income. आगे जनरेशन में आप आपके बच्चे को भी वो घर देके जाओगे तो वो उसमें रह ही रहा है ना, कोई भी वैल्यू का है, वो वैल्यू को आप मटेरियलाइज तो नहीं कर रहे हो, राइट? So when you're parallelly doing an SIP at the end of 25 years, look at the amount that is generated as a maturity amount in the last table. It is 1 crore 70 lakhs approximately. So now when you retire out of your loan, suppose 25 ki age pe loan liya and 25 years you repaid the loan, that is your age is 50 and you're retiring, the house value is going to remain whatsoever it will remain. It is not an asset. But this money that you make it out of it, this, if you put it on an investment table or put your capital somewhere, it will earn you money. So that is how you create assets out of your liabilities. That's one example one. There's one small video that we would like to show you why we need, financial planners, why it is so important to have financial planners. In the meanwhile, you will also have a small break. Otherwise, it will be too monotonous to hear you.
What is more important, saving that fee or creating them?
I think one thing that generally people tend to do is that when they select mutual fund, they generally look at the returns itna hai और 3 साल में इतना रिटर्न आया तो ये
The
सारे
video is
तो
not
ये
visible,
this is the
Jasmina.
right approach.
We can only hear the audio.
In every 3-year cycle, only 27% of these funds will remain in the top quartile. Now, if I extend that to 5-year cycle, only 19% of the current top performing funds will remain top performing in any 5 years. Irrespective of how intelligent you are, there is no way that you can beat cyclicality of the right. So do not stress again in terms of am I picking the best fund? Not necessary. Pick up a portfolio of 3-4 good funds backed by strong fund managers, backed by strong conviction. Again, this is where you will need help. If you are confident to be able to research yourself next to it. If you're not confident, do not hesitate to seek help.
So this is just like, like if I talk in the language of doctors, I often hear people saying, don't Google up the things and don't be a Google doctor. So same way it works in this profession also. People, those who are investment advisors or those who are distributors, so they are being trained in such a way or they are being educated by the regulators in such a way that they can give you a good research and, a diversification or what you call it as a balancing is very important. Like even in physiotherapy, it is very important to balance out before any movements or any therapy is being taken. The same with the funds also or money also. It is very important that you balance out everything, your risk, your tenures. It has to be a complete and a right mixed financial planning. It's just not about loan or a random buying of any plans. So now, individual goals, when we say, now that was just a classic example of a home loan. How do you create an asset from the liability that you have taken in? But other than home, also there are multiple goals or dreams that we have as an individual. So try to put it out in different buckets. Like some dreams would be you want it after 10 years, 20 years back, where you say that, I want my child to graduate from IIMs or come out from the IIMs with a brightening. So you know the fees, what it is, right? So that's your long-term goal. You want to build money for it. Though today's generation, they say okay, we want to be independent, we'll buy our own education loan and do it. But see, it is an emotion. Family is an emotion. So a child being taking willing to take risk, again the risk factor comes. मतलब बच्चा risk कब ले रहा है पता है, जब उसको बैक ऑफ द माइंड एक पता है कि मेरा कोई फेलियर होगा तो मेरे पेरेंट्स है मेरे साथ एंड दे वुड बी एबल टू बैकअप मी. Forget about kids, we ourselves, अगर हम आज कोई भी रिस्क ले रहे हैं, हम कुछ कर रहे हैं, तो वी नो कि बैकअप में भले वो फाइनेंशियल प्लानर कुछ भी सजेस्ट करे, you decide anything, but you will take a step ahead as a matured person. You will know that there is something. If this fails, if plan A fails, there is always a plan B. So we try to give you the same, and we would suggest you that whenever you're planning your financial plannings, always divide your goals or dreams into स्पेसिफिकली एक टर्म पे, यानी एक टाइमलाइन पे आप उसको रख के देखिए कि आपके लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स क्या है। क्या होता है उसमें, आप रिस्क ज्यादा ले पाते हो। रिस्क लेने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि मैं छलांग लगा रहा हूँ, लॉन्ग जंप कर रहा हूँ, ऐसा नहीं है। बट when you give time to something, may it be relationships or may it be money or may it be business, even business makes a goodwill over a period of time. So, relationships also get matured over a time. So same way with finances also, जब आपके पास ज्यादा टाइम होता है किसी भी चीज के लिए, तो वो चीज ज्यादा अच्छे से आपको रिटर्न्स दे पाती है. So long term investments you can take more risk, though we have kept this tables on very what do you say, एवरेज रिस्क वर्किंग. क्योंकि कमिट करके कुछ अच्छा डिलीवर हो ना, तो लोगों को खुशी मिलती है. बट कमिट करने के बाद कुछ खराब मिले तो नहीं बोल सकते. और म्यूचुअल फंड तो हम वैसे भी आप किसी को पूछो कि म्यूचुअल फंड्स क्या होते हैं, तो लोगों को शायद म्यूचुअल फंड पता नहीं होगा, बट ये टैगलाइन जरूर याद होगा कि म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स आर सब्जेक्ट टू मार्केट रिस्क, प्लीज रीड द ऑफर डॉक्यूमेंट केयरफुली. बट देन वी नो डोंट रीड द ऑफर डॉक्यूमेंट केयरफुली, और मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम वी don't keep that मतलब पढ़ भी लिया, but do we understand? One thing is reading and another thing is understanding it. So from that perspective, we'll keep it on a very moderate risk. So again, coming back here in long-term goals, the first table says that if you're investing a 5,000 rupees SIP every month for a period of 10 years, and we keep it a very nominal growth rate of 12% also, that 6 lakh rupees ka investment is going to yield you at the end of 10 years, 21 lakh rupees. So you can see how many times the money multiplies in the compounding. Because somewhere ना very closely I would say कि जैसे पहला स्लाइड देख के होम लोन का आपको लगा ना कि यार मैं तो 50 लाख का लोन ले रहा हूँ और 1 करोड़ ले रही है बैंक मुझसे. हाँ, क्योंकि वो कंपाउंडिंग इंटरेस्ट है. कंपाउंडिंग इंटरेस्ट क्या होता है कि एक आइसक्रीम का कोन है जो आपने पूरा भर लिया, तो आप जब आइसक्रीम खाते हो तो आपको ऊपर क्या आता है, क्रीम ज्यादा आता है, राइट. कोन बड़ा रहता है, क्रीम भी ज्यादा आता है, बिकॉज कोन का जो शेप वैसा है, तो ऊपर की जो आइसक्रीम ज्यादा है, सो दैट आइसक्रीम इज नॉट मेंट फॉर यू बट इट इज मेंट फॉर द बैंकर. तो वो ऊपर के पार्ट में वो इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा खा रहा होता है. अब जैसे जैसे आपकी आइसक्रीम छोटी 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 होती जाती है और नीचे जब आप आ जाते हो ना, तो आपको कोन ज्यादा आता है. मे बी कभी कभी चॉकलेट्स भी मिल जाता है उसमें नीचे, बट आइसक्रीम ज्यादा नहीं होता है. दैट इज बिकॉज योर प्रिंसिपल, इट इज योर प्रिंसिपल. और वो जो चॉकलेट बोली ना मैंने, दैट इज व्हाट वो बैंकर को कभी कभी मिल जाती है जब कोई क्लाइंट होता है, मुझे वन टाइम सेटलमेंट करना है, क्लोज करना है, सो दैट इज अ लमसम chocolate for it. So this SIP works in this pattern. If you have a medium term goals, for example, मतलब 5 साल 10 साल का विजन, 10 साल का नहीं है बट 5 साल का विजन है, तो आपकी जो अमाउंट है, आपने जो 6 lakhs इन्वेस्ट करी है, इफ यू विड्रॉ इट एट द एंड ऑफ द 5 years, इट कम्स डाउन टू अराउंड 10 or 11 lakhs. एंड सेम इफ यू लुक एट वेरी शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स, ओके, जैसे मेरे पास 1.5-2 साल के लिए ही पैसा है, या मे बी 2 साल बाद मुझे घर लेना है और इन्वेस्ट करना है, बट मुझे अगर आज कुछ मिल जाए तो मुझे शायद ये पैसा जरूरत पड़ सकता है. So such type of money, maybe you should not think, I would say rather, into mutual funds. So there are FDs that you can do it if you go by a traditional investment thing. But there is some interesting thing in the market that is called as bonds. And we are talking about here, this classic example is given about a government bond. They are very secured because government is guaranteeing. एक बैंक आपको गारंटी नहीं करता है आपने कितना पैसा बैंक के पास रखा है वो आपको गारंटीड मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं बोलता. बट bonds are called as government guaranteed bonds. Okay, so these are available by the state governments, the central government both. So we just last week only we distributed this bond. This bond had an investment of around 2 lakh rupees, and 2 lakh rupees आपका हर 6 महीने में मेच्योर हो रहा था. मतलब 2 साल का इन्वेस्टमेंट टर्म है, हर 6 महीने में 50,000 आपको बॉन्ड वापस कर देगा, प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट. और उसके इंटरेस्ट डेट्स के सामने अगर आप देखोगे ना कि जो इंटरेस्ट उनको आया है, सो दैट वाज अमाउंटिंग टू 42,862. आफ्टर डिडक्टिंग TDS, दिस अमाउंट वुड बी क्रेडिटेड टू योर अकाउंट. सो can you imagine 2 lakh रुपया 2 साल में is coming up to 2,40,000. So this is how your short term goals can be met. मतलब वो अगर सेविंग बैंक में पड़ा होता ना 2 लाख रुपया, तो वो 2 लाख पे एडिशनल 10,000 रुपया मैक्स ऐड करता, जो कि आप वही इन्वेस्ट करो जिसमें आप 50,000 बीच में ले भी रहे हो, and still you are making a better money. Now going back to our previous slide, यहाँ पे जैसे हमने बताया था कि टेबल 1 में मतलब टेन्योर 20 years और टेन्योर 25 years में 5 years का डिफरेंस है, okay, but your EMI amount is differential by 10,000, उसका example I showed you. Between your table 2 for 15 years and 25 years, or you talk about 20 years and 15 years, जो 5,000 का differential amount है, 3,500 का, this if you make it work, how it helps. There is a this table that says कि 3,500 का if you do an SIP for 10 years at the growth of 20%, because 10 years you can take a leverage. So this 4,20,000 का investment is going to yield you 12 lakh rupees. So जो आपका यहाँ पे आप जो differential interest पे कर रहे हो ना 17, जो आपका यहाँ पे around 17 lakh rupees आ रहा था ये दो टेबल के बीच में, so that interest also can be recovered. मतलब कभी कभी हमको लगता है ना कि interest में क्यों ज्यादा पे करूँ या कम पे करूँ, ऐसे कहाँ जा रहा है, तो that there are strategies where you can only recover the interest, or you can recover the whole amount also. Okay, now there is in this individual goal, suppose okay this 3,500 का मुझे SIP भी करना है, but मेरी एक और थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम है which says कि प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, in a way it is a realistic fact I would say, कि मेरे बच्चे छोटे हैं, ठीक है, अभी बच्चे छोटे हैं तो मेरा बनता है कि मैं उनके लिए भी कुछ करूँ साइड में. So those LIC people, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस जो सेल करते हैं, वो सबसे ज्यादा आपको टारगेट करते हैं जब आपका बच्चा छोटा होता है. वो आपके अंदर एक डर डालते हैं कि कल को आपको कुछ भी हो जाता है ना तो बच्चे के लिए सेफ हो जाता है. एंड इवन वी एज अ पेरेंट, चलो वी डोंट टॉक अबाउट और कमेंट अबाउट देयर वे ऑफ सेलिंग इट टू अस, but even as a parent, we once a child is there in our life, now we also become conscious कि the child has to be safe. That's the most soft corner of our heart. So if your kids are really small and you want to play one more card onto it, so what you can do is you can buy a life insurance also. Approximately आपका प्रीमियम अराउंड 2 लाख रुपया जाता है जो 5 साल ही भरना है आपको. सो टोटल इन्वेस्टमेंट कॉस्ट इज 10 लाख रुपीज. अब इसमें क्या होता है, एनीथिंग गॉड फॉरबिड्स एनीथिंग हैपेंस विद द insurer, the person who's buying the insurance, so the child's life is not much impacted because it's a money back plan from the month 1. जैसे 2 लाख के इन्वेस्टमेंट पे 3 to 3,500 रुपीज एवरी मंथ आना आपको शुरू हो जाता है. अभी सिंस यू आर अवेलेबल एंड यू आर देयर एंड योर हाउस थिंग का वो 3,500 भी दिमाग में अपने चल रहा है, तो वी कैन फिट इन द प्रोडक्ट और मेक इट अ प्रोडक्ट मिक्स इन सच अ वे कि by paying this 10 lakhs additional over here in the span of 5 years, this 3,500 rupees you put it to SIP, so there you are recovering the interest. If not, तभी अगर इंटरेस्ट में जरूरत नहीं है आपको, आपका प्रॉपर्टी का कुछ और डिसीजन आता है, दिस विल बी अ वैल्यू फंड which will help your child for your higher education. Of course, the policy working also gives you other benefits like there is a whatever premium amount is there उसका 10x आपको कभी भी मिलता है as a life insurance benefit, and on maturity when you're coming you get your premium back, and in between this 3,500 वाला आपका हफ्ता वसूली भी चालू ही है. So you see how beautifully you when you merge the products or you make it a product mix, how multiple things or goals will get secured also, and at the same time you're creating wealth also, or whatever interest you are paying it, your hard earned money or recovering it also. एंड ऑफ कोर्स वो जो एक अकाउंटिंग पार्ट होता है कि जो हमने इतना सारा लोन में इंटरेस्ट पे किया उसका हमको टैक्सेशन बेनिफिट मिलना है, तो वो भी हमको मिल रहा है. यू नो व्हाट द ब्यूटी, I would just love to share this. I mean, not necessarily everybody, but I have seen like in all the clients I have met so far, एक बहुत अच्छी चीज मुझे सुनने क्या मिलती है मालूम है, टैक्स बचाना है इसलिए हमको इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी है. So here comes my third question. If you're making your investments to save taxes, write an yes on your notepad. तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम ना हम ऐसा कर रहे होते हैं कि टैक्स बचाना है, इतना टैक्स बच जाएगा इसलिए हम बाकी सारे खर्चे दिल खोल कर लेंगे. जब टैक्स देने की बारी आएगी तो हमको लगता है टैक्स बचाना है इसलिए हम कुछ भी कर लेंगे. ठीक है, yes, I understand in a country that is developing, तो 2-4 खड्डे में गाड़ी जाए तो लगता है मैं क्यों टैक्स भर रहा हूँ, एंड अभी तो सीजन है उसका. So you're right in a way, but then when you do these investments for the purpose of saving tax, you randomly do shopping rather than buying it, making a financial planning, you start making a shopping. कि भाई तेरे पास क्या अवेलेबल है, या तूने बाजू वाले को पूछेंगे तूने क्या लिया, अच्छा तुमने ये बचाया, ठीक है मैं भी ऐसे बचा, या फिर रैंडमली कोई भी अपने को एक एडवाइस देगा ये बच रहा है, हमने यूट्यूब पे या सोशल मीडिया पे कहीं पे कुछ ऐड देखा, सेव टैक्सेस इन्वेस्ट दिस, सो वी बाय इट. So whenever you buy anything, any financial product, may it be a liability product or may it be a investment or an asset product, a suggestion would come as always see that if it fits into your rail of long, medium, and short term goals somewhere, and you're buying it in such a strategic way that it is creating an asset जो भी आपका liability है उसको cover कर रहा है, कहीं ना कहीं आपके risk को hedge कर रहा है. So you're actually creating wealth. We want to create wealth, we just don't want to uh, buy products. It's not a shopping mall. So there are traditional investments along with current era products, and we should not miss on either of it. So these are a variety of options that are available that can uh, those things which you want to make a good returns upon, may help you making a good portfolio, and those when you evaluate together they form assets for you, and that is called as a working of your investment. Means whatever money you're investing is getting you returns. It's just not an asset, it is something that is creating a wealth for you. The next level of an asset is create something that creates wealth for you. So this together in a right place carries your journey of making assets from liabilities. Now coming to our business part. So when we are running a business, what happens is, what is, ठीक है, we all work for money. That is a truth. That is a fact. But a emotional part, if you look at of ours towards our business, is what that we want to create that goodwill, that good name of our business. And in a way, if you look towards creating that business that should go for generations, it is very important that you create a brand, a goodwill for it. So brands और goodwills, जब भी हम बोलते हैं कि हमारी थर्ड या फोर्थ जनरेशन यही बिजनेस, यही प्रोफेशन कर रही है, see, every generation that comes up adds something. For them also, it is in a way a start from a scratch only. बिकॉज जो जैसा चल रहा है ना, एक जो बेस मिला हुआ है आपको, उसमें आप क्या करते हो, मैक्सिमम अपनी सैलरी लेते हो. सो द टारगेट और द आइडिया इज ऑलवेज दैट यू वांट टू ग्रो इट अहेड. आर forefathers, they kept this vision कि मतलब मेरी सेकेंड थर्ड जनरेशन अगर इस बिजनेस में आ रही है तो what all should be there, how it would work. Like if you talk about our grandparents at the home side, if you look at it again come as whole unique package where your home is included. As I said, we have two wings, one is home, one other is business. So if you look at our grandmothers, they would save in the form of gold every month. जो उनका बचता था थोड़ा थोड़ा, so they used to buy gold and keep it, saying that उसकी शादी या उसका जो भी domestic part of life है उसमें वो काम आए. If you look at grandfather, what he would think is बच्चा बड़ा होगा, उसको कैपिटल देना पड़ेगा, अपने बिजनेस में आ जाता है तो अच्छी बात है, लेकिन वो उसको आगे क्या बढ़ाएगा. इट्स लाइक अ फार्मर हु इज वर्किंग ऑन अ फार्म, ही वुड ऐड ऑन द किड्स. तो क्या होता था, पहले 5,000 कमाता था, फिर 4 बच्चे और काम करने लगे, तो पर पर्सन अर्निंग केम टू 1,000 rupees. So but then if we don't want that thing to happen, if we want that our business should over a period of time grow with a goodwill and create a brand or a legacy, or it should add on, then this is how we go about it. Plan your business goals. Like understand that what is, first of all, we should have a very clear understanding on how much revenue we have to generate. So to reach that revenue, what are the inputs that would be required, what would be the resources that we would need it. Now if you say, okay, I was earning a particular amount and I'm investing that particular capital. So see how it links from your personal goals for your individual income or the asset that you have created. You are passing this thing to your business. So first, this business should be able to serve some interest on that capital. Okay. So the business which you are costing it out, target what is the revenue you want, because the capital that you're employing out of your own pocket or in terms of loans has to get a return in the terms of interest. Then align your employee goals. As I said ना, मतलब अगर आप घोड़ा गाड़ी चला रहे हो और दोनों घोड़े अलग डायरेक्शन में जाएंगे तो you will not reach your destination. It has to be on a common way. So see, in any business or in any family or any team, or say even for a sake of your playing a game, तो क्या होता है, हमारा एक गोल पोल डिसाइड होता है कि हम ये साइड पे गोल करेंगे, हम इस डायरेक्शन में भागेंगे. Also, when they work in that alignment, things become very easy for you. तो जब वो आपके गोल्स के लिए काम कर रहे हैं तो won't it be your duty as well to see that what are their short ups. तो एम्प्लॉयज के शॉर्ट अप्स क्या होते हैं नॉर्मली, कि जब समर वेकेशन आता है एंड स्कूल्स रीओपन होती है तो दैट इज अ बिग एक्सपेंस फॉर देम. जब बच्चों के स्कूल्स होते हैं तो दैट मंथ इज नॉर्मली हेवी ऑन अस इन टू डिफरेंट वेज. वन इज किड्स डिमांड हॉलीडे, अनदर इज उनके एजुकेशन का भी तभी फीस होता है, नए बुक्स, ऑल दोस थिंग्स आर देयर. And somewhere that time na is where the corporates also give bonuses for, because they also somewhere think ke, the employee goals should meet. So we though whatever organization we are running, so there also we can. Also there sometimes happens in our MSMEs na, क्या होता है, अचानक से कोई अपना एम्प्लॉय है या कोई अपना कलीग डॉक्टर है या मे बी अनदर कलीग ऑफ us also sometimes they come into some emergency. कुछ भी हो सकता है वो, it may be education, it may be anything. तो तब क्या होता है ना, they ask us for a help, they look upon us. और हम भी एक इमोशन में उनको ना नहीं बोलते हैं, we don't say no and we shouldn't say also, and we give it wholeheartedly also. But sometimes it so happens it pinches us, it affects our business. कहीं ना कुछ एक बोलते हैं ना, हर चीज के लिए एक compensating कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री ये होता है, कंपेंसेटिंग इमोशन होता है. लाइक इफ यू आर हैप्पी यू विल बी सैड आल्सो. So in this thing what happens is we can plan something like some buckets wherein we will have it for such emergency fund. अगर भगवान है इमरजेंसी फंड नहीं यूज करने का आया, किसी को इमरजेंसी नहीं आए, तो then we can use it for our further goals, like we want to replace a machinery or we want to make an addition to it, or we want to put extra bed in our clinic or whatever. When you're planning for the liability to asset side for your business, see what happens is, एक चीज होती है कि हमारी एक इनकम आती है, it is in cash, it is in bank, both the ways. अब ये जाती है अकाउंटेंट को हमारे कि ये है, इसका ITR फाइल करना है, टैक्सेशन भरना है. तो एक अपनी इनकम होती है, उसमें से वो डिसाइड करता है क्या दिखाना है क्या नहीं दिखाना है, ठीक है. दूसरा पार्ट हो जाता है कि हमको वो अकाउंटिंग के बाद टैक्स बैठ रहा है तो हम उसमें काफी कुछ अपना दिमाग लगाते हैं. लाइक वी आर ट्रू इंडियंस, तो हमारे पास में हर चीज में एस्केप्स बहुत सारे होते हैं. तो हम एक्चुअल इनकम कभी कभी दिखाते, कभी कभी इन्फ्लेट करते, कभी कभी डिफ्लेट करते अगर टैक्सेशन आता है. सो फॉर दैट वी अगेन यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड एक्सपेंसेस एज अ टूल, right? So how many, again it is time to write yes or no on your paper. So how many of you would agree कि हमारा जो actual income है और जो हमारा paper income है, that is different, right? It is different. So you can write yes or no on that. So financial planning comes over and about the paper income. मतलब काफी सारा ऐसा चीज होता है, हमको लगता है कि सिर्फ हम टैक्स के लिए कर रहे हैं, बट कभी डू वी थिंक अराउंड वे, अदर वे राउंड टू इट, कि जो उसमें से इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है, मे बी दे आर रियली गुड एंड वी शुड इन्वेस्ट इनटू इट, एंड मे बी वी शुड थिंक अबाउट इट इन द ग्रोथ ऑफ आवर बिजनेस और इंडिविजुअल प्लानिंग. सो like for example in a business planning you can also think of कि there are upgrades coming, like machineries nowadays, the technology is so fast developing. 3 साल 5 साल में अपना जो भी गैजेट है या इंस्ट्रूमेंट है या whatever machinery we are using for the treatments, they get outdated or they get replaced. मार्केट में कुछ नया आ गया तो वो है, तो अभी ये डॉक्टर के पास है तो पेशेंट्स वो स्मार्टली का, आप ये भी करते हो. So see, nowadays consumers or the patients you call it, or they are finally a consumer, so they have become so smart and so intelligent. सब कुछ गूगल करके आते हैं, आप उनको कुछ बताओ उसके पहले वो आपको बता चुके होते हैं कि ये ट्रीटमेंट करनी है. Happens sometimes. The same happens in our financial planning also. Most of the time it so happens when we go to talk, we are trying to understand from the person कि what is the situation of the finances, आपका क्या है. When you दिल खोल के भी अगर आप सारी डिटेल्स बता रहे हो ना, सब कुछ सच बोल रहे हो, तो भी ऐसा होता है ना कि only 50% comes out in the first 2-3 times. Rest 50% doesn't comes out. It is like a half said thing, और एक भले हमने झूठ नहीं बोला बट सच आधा बोला. So in that situation, the timely reviews are very important. So upgrades when they come. So these reviews or this, small investments or small plannings help you. Now upgrades come in your business not only in terms of machinery, but for yourself also. Any business today you're running, any profession specifically if you're running today, so there are certifications, diplomas, upgradations, webinars, seminars that you need to attend. So there is a cost to that also. So are we, every time you cannot be on the loan, sometimes you have make it from the ongoing assets also. The wealth you're creating on your personal goals, maybe that amount gets matured and it has come to you today. So you should be having that product mix of investing in your own business, but then ensuring that it goes back to your personal kitty bag. मतलब पैसा खुद का वापस तो ले लेना है, ऐसा नहीं है कि दे दिया, दान नहीं करना है अपने को. Business is a separate entity, you should always remember. And then hedging of the risk is the most important factor. As I said in the personal side also, that health emergencies can come, medication can come. So business में क्या risk आ सकता है? We are practicing professions. कभी कुछ अपने से गलती हो गई, कुछ हुआ, so there is a insurance that takes care of your legal expenses. उसका एक और बेनिफिट क्या होता है कि सामने वाला कुछ क्लेम डाल रहा है आपको, उसकी जो टेक्निकल पॉइंट्स होते हैं, तो बिकॉज इंश्योरेंस कंपनी इज फंडिंग इट, दे कैन ऑल्सो हेल्प यू टू एन एक्सटेंट, बिकॉज उनको भी कहीं ना कहीं फंड क्लेम देना पड़ रहा है. सो दैट एडिशनल एक बोलते हैं ना बैक एक मिल जाता है अपने को. Then you are running a business from a particular premises, and if there is any unseen event of a fire or a earthquake, it can be a big hurdle to it. So those can be insured. So there are many things that can be insured on the business front also. Those machineries which you are buying it, if they are expensive, there is a risk if you are carrying it from one place to another place. So those all can be taken care of. And most important thing, when you have created a good goodwill, a good brand, a good business, you always want to give back to the society. So how do you give back? Like in a business, how do we give back? The best way to give back is you encourage more people in the society, or you give them a platform. Suppose more physiotherapists are coming, the freshers are coming, you can give them an opportunity to grow with your brand. Maybe you want to conduct multiple lectures or practices for the society people to make an awareness. So here you would be using that. Everywhere you cannot be going and doing the show, so you will always have an helping hands or who would be taking it away further. So in this scenario what happens is कि there are fair chances that they commit a mistake. कुछ गलती कर दी उन्होंने, कुछ गलत हो गया, किसी उन्होंने नहीं भी गलती करी, बट जो पेशेंट है उसका कुछ और प्रॉब्लम होगा जो उसने नहीं बताया, वो कुछ प्रॉब्लम में आ गया. So there are fair chances that when you are doing something for the society, the things can come to you also. So this whole product mix, when you look at it for a business planning or for an individual planning, it is such a bucket from which you can pour it only if there is something inside the bucket. So it is a bucket which you have to fill up in a right way. Now, what would be the major takeaways from this business goal planning? That we all have employee bonus scheme. We want we can have a common health cover for all of us for some amount, and that will help us taking care of the emergencies of ours also and for our employees also. Then, as I said, DNS allowance insurance, which is a video allowance, which is available for the director's liability. that can hedge you to an extent. Then there is an section under 371 under income tax, which allows you insurance, means you can give life insurance to your employees, which can be taken as an expense of your business to an unlimited amount, and you can save upon the taxes. At the same time, your employee will get the benefit. And what happens is, by such small strategic plannings for your, we have a lot of resources in our business, but human resource is considered to be the most valued one, because that is something that will make your company run, that will something grow your business. So ये जब भी facilities आपके what you call employees को या आपके human resource को जब भी मिल रही होती है ना, see, even if you are a proprietary partnership or an LLP, even if you are a small and a medium enterprise, you can give them the benefits which corporates are giving to their employees. Why people working in corporates don't want to leave the job and start the business or a profession? Major, if you look at it ना, what they will say is कि अरे यहाँ पे मेरे को इंश्योरेंस मिल रहा है, एक फिक्स्ड इनकम मिल रहा है, मेरे को एक बोनस आता है जिससे मेरा ये कवर हो जाता है, so these are the things. So if you do it, how well, just because of a right financial planning, you will have a long term associates with you. So together, the team, older the team, the bolder it would be. Now there are some important things under financial planning, which would work basis on how your chartered accountants or your other areas like law and taxation and law part or accounting part works on. Try to understand what type of entity you're running, a proprietorship, a partnership, or an LLP. That makes a huge difference, okay, in your financial planning. Then whatever capital you have invested, like you bought a machinery or you bought a loan for a machinery or you bought a premises or whatsoever. So is that investment getting a capital returns? Is it earning an interest? You yourself have to earn your salaries, a fixed amount. And most important thing, if you're running a proprietary concern, na, our habit is कि जो जरूरत आएगी ना तब withdraw कर लेंगे. Never do that. Always fix up a amount that will, fixed amount कि इतना, भले you grow it every year. Okay, growth is important, but amount has to be persistent. So that gets discipline in you also, and that is good for long-term business also. If the ownerships are yours, whether you're able to fetch the rental out of it, अब वो जो rental amount है वो आप EMI पे कर रहे हो या क्या कर रहे हो, that is a second part of it. There is a cost of upgrading for instrument as well as yourself. So that is very important that you create provision for it. And this is how you make a right business mix for your goal setting. Coming to next. So did you see that, in a way, if you visualize what I was trying to say, then your family, your business, you as an individual, your partner, and your employees, if everybody is working or walking in the same direction, it becomes so easy to reach your target very easily. And your objectives or your commitments or whatever resources that you have available, that together make your financial plan. And to make this financial plan, what is the most important thing is directions. Directions are very important. The first step in any direction is so important because it determines your decision and your priority. It decides like which way you want to go, and it gives confidence to the other side also. Okay, it is coming in the right way. Now, like when you hit the pole, so how it works is, first you secure yourself, then you build a foundation, then you come towards a financial independence, and then achieve your goals. Now, this is something I just wanted to give a gist of. It is an example. These were small illustrations. For every person, the product mix would work differently. I don't say that, आपने ये लोन लिया आप ये कर लो तो हो गया. No, I'm not saying that anywhere. Okay, risk appetite of a person is different. Things are very different from person to person. So when we are planning our finances, there are certain things which should, जैसे कि आप अगर जाते हो कंज्यूमर प्रोडक्ट्स, फ्रिज खरीदने, वॉशिंग मशीन, तो आप पूछते हो ना कुछ एक चीजें, इसकी फ्रॉस्ट फ्री है, बर्फ जमेगी कि नहीं जमेगी, आप इसमें कितने कंपार्टमेंट्स है, इसमें फ्रूट्स वेजिटेबल्स अलग रख सकते हो कि नहीं रख सकते हो. सेम वे, like even physiotherapy में भी when a client comes or a patient rather comes, तो in any profession you ask ना कि आपको दर्द कहाँ है, मतलब ये अब ये यहाँ से मुड़ते हो तो आपको क्या होता है. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि पेशेंट को खुद को नहीं पता था कि ये जो मुझे बैक पेन है दैट इज एक्चुअली कमिंग अप फ्रॉम सम डिफरेंट पार्ट. इट सो हैपन. सो एज एन professional, you can explain it better. So from my end, I would give you some FAQs that if you're planning your finances, what are the important things you should learn. As I shared with you from the starting only कि पहले ऐसा होता था कि we just wanted a second person to be working, a partner of ours to be working. Now today we want a second income, so we all want to create a passive income. So always see that whatever products you're picking up are creating a passive income for you. Then स्टॉक्स होते हैं या कोई भी स्कीम्स आती है, एज आई सेड कि जब अपने को बोलता है ना अपना अकाउंटेंट के टैक्स भरना है, तो टैक्स बचाने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं, मेरे फ्रेंड ने ये स्कीम में पैसा डाला, इतना बच रहा है, ठीक है चल मैं भी यही ले लेता हूँ. Or you visit any social media and you see something, advertising products that this is also getting exemption on the tax. We do it. We do na investments should be for the goals, for our vision to create something in our life, that is for our dreams, that is should be an asset. And on a higher note, we would rather call it as something that is creating wealth, to build a wealth. So don't buy anything randomly कि चलो आज ये आया, ये बोल रहे अच्छा प्लान है डाल देते हैं. No, don't do that. Sometimes it so happens na people sell it with an emotion. It is a child plan, it is a retirement plan. So let me tell you, it is just a way to market it out. But आप खरीदो child plan, कोई problem नहीं है. But when you do it as it strategically na, what happens is along with your child's education plan or your retirement plan, you are also supporting your liabilities. So taking charge of your liabilities in such a way that that liability ends you up to an asset is very important. Then what are the prime terms of any product and its comparison? Means आप कोई भी product खरीद रहे हो ना, तो हमेशा उसको finance में timeline is very important. Time is most important factor in anybody's life. मतलब आज जो time गया वो वापस नहीं आएगा. 5 साल बाद आप रिग्रेट करोगे कि 2 साल पहले ये चीज शुरू की होती, 10 साल पहले उसने ये करा तब मैंने करा था. बट यू कैन नॉट गो बैक ओवर देयर. देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड एज टाइम ट्रैवल, एटलीस्ट वेयर मनी इज कंसर्न. तो हमेशा whenever you are buying, see the timeline. अब वो प्रोडक्ट को उस तरीके से देखिए कि इस प्रोडक्ट के साथ 5 साल बाद में कहाँ हूँ, 10 साल बाद में कहाँ हूँ, 20 साल बाद कहाँ हूँ. what difference it will make to me. सेकेंडली और रिस्क एपेटाइट, मतलब अगर वो चीज मुझे कहीं पे फेलियर देती है एक फॉर टाइमिंग के लिए, एक जो पैच बैड आता ही है सबकी लाइफ में, या से वो बैड पैच नहीं भी आए, if it is running a good patch also, that bonus that is creating, so where will I stand over it, like property खरीद अगर हम लोग there is a classic thing that is going on. पहले in around 2009-10 हमारे पास 10% का कंट्रीब्यूशन होता था ना, 90% हम लोन्स लेते थे. एंड दोज प्रॉपर्टीज आर स्टिल असेट्स टू अस. भले हम उसमें रह भी रहे तभी भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट दे आर असेट टू अस बिकॉज तभी जिस हिसाब से जो मल्टीप्लायर्स या इन्फ्लेशन रेट्स या whatever was being upgraded government valuations, तो तब जो प्रॉपर्टीज की चेंजेस आई ना, तभी जो प्रॉपर्टी में जंप आया. सो दैट रियल एस्टेट थिंग, see it made difference that timeline. But abhi agar aap property kharid rahe ho with just a 10% this thing, calculate what would be the value of that property after 10 years. One, two, calculate how much money you will invest and how much you will pay in terms of interest also, and what could be the time value of the money, what could be the opportunity cost of it also. So always try to compare the products from that point of view. Then once we buy loans, any loan you buy it ना, we just forget it. हम बस उसको पे कर रहे 15 साल के लिए लिया हुआ है, 15 साल खत्म हो गए, अचानक हमको रियलाइज होता है अभी हमारे 1-2 EMI बाकी होंगे. हम बैंक के पास जाते हैं, बैंक बोलता है नहीं नहीं सर अभी और आपके 25 EMI बाकी है. Then we say अरे भाई what happened, then we realize कि हमारा मार्जिन बढ़ा था, हमारा रेपो रेट बढ़ा था, ये बढ़ा वो बढ़ा, तो हमारा टेन्योर इंक्रीज हो गया। तो वो जो इतना बड़ा लव लेटर लिखती है ना बैंक, वी डोंट इवन रियलाइज दैट एंड वी डोंट इवन रीड दैट, और वो आता है इधर उधर पड़ा रहता है, फिर थोड़े दिन हम संभालते कि बैंक से इंपॉर्टेंट है, बाद में वो कहाँ गायब हो जाता है, वी डोंट इवन बॉदर, या फिर वो पड़ा ही रहता है, एंड देन वी रियलाइज ऑल ऑफ अ सडन। सो एनी लाइबिलिटी दैट यू आर बाइंग इट, ensure that timely you check the amortization value of that. So we at Snehadeep are glad to, acknowledge that many of our clients who bought their liabilities for 20 years, 25 years, they are out of it at the end of 8th or 9th year maybe. So this is because this is an after sales additional service. That's what distinguishes us from the other loan consultants in the market, कि आपका लोन हो जाने के बाद में हम लोग आपकी अमोर्टाइजेशन वैल्यू टाइमली चेक करते हैं, एंड देन वी गिव यू अ फीडबैक कॉल के मैम यस सर ये ऐसा चल रहा है, और समटाइम्स जस्ट इन हाफ एन आवर विजिट टू अ ब्रांच कैन सेव कपल ऑफ years of EMIs. So this is very important part of any financial product. Then financial planning based on income and books. As I said कि हम जब भी taxation workout करते हैं, accounts workout करते हैं, तो हमारी position एक अलग होती है. In realistic life, our incomes are different. So it should not be just done on the income that our books are showing it. Investment is something a topmost priority that we should have it. And accordingly we should, our goals, जो भी हमारे goals हमने रखे हैं life में, that we should derive and work in towards that direction. And financial planning for individual along with family and the business goals aligned in one direction is very important. We saw what is the importance of it and how it helps us. And the tenure, as we discussed, and most important part of, let's not just call it a financial planning, but for a person also, it is you write a will. That is very, very important. We are soon coming up with that service also to help you writing your wills. So when you write your will, you're very clear about many things, and forget about clarity in the things, but at least whatever you have made in a hard-earned money, it is going in the right hands. So create nominees in that. But let me tell you, there is a difference. When you create a nominee, the asset not necessarily belongs to that, or that person cannot be a legal claimant of that. Okay, एक आपने किसी को नॉमिनी डाल दिया मतलब वो उसका ही है, वो कहीं नहीं बोलता है. बट व्हेन यू राइट अ विल, यू कैन से स्पेसिफिकली दैट इस इन्वेस्टमेंट में या इस एसेट में इसकी नाम नॉमिनी डाली हुई है एंड इज गोइंग टू बी माय लीगल हेयर. So it is very important to write a will and put a nominee. There are a few other takeaways also that we would like to give you as an input, कि आप कभी भी कोई भी फाइनेंशियल प्रोडक्ट ले रहे हो ना, और अगर आपको बैंकर या आपका एडवाइजर whoever may be, अगर आपको बोलता है ना कि सर या मैम आप सिर्फ साइन करके दे दो, तो वैसा मत करो. ट्राई टू फिल अप द फॉर्म ऑन योर ओन. दैट विल गिव यू अ क्लैरिटी कि आप क्या बाय कर रहे हो, क्योंकि फॉर्म फिलिंग में ना आपको बहुत छोटे छोटे डिटेल्स पूछे जाते हैं. मे बी अगर आप किसी फाइनेंशियल प्लानर को या सेलर को भूल गए हो ना पूछना, तो वो फॉर्म आपको एक स्ट्राइक देता है, एक लाइटनिंग देता है कि ये चीज क्या है. They give risk disclosures very clearly. And maybe you're going for an investment, your KYCs are important. KYCs declarations, how they're even in insurance, if you're going, your KYD helps you. Your digiloggers are available where you can store all your documents, important documents, and can be extracted at any point in time. And your declarations and your nominees have to be very, very clear when you're filling up the form, because वो अगर आपको जानता होगा बैंकर आपका सारा डिटेल्स डालेगा, सब कुछ डालेगा, अगर नॉमिनी में उसने डैश रख दिया तो आगे जाके योर नियर एंड डियर वंस टू क्लेम दैट ओन मनी. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल क्या होता है, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम हम जब इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करते हैं हम बच्चों को इतनी जल्दी नहीं बताते कि हमने क्या इन्वेस्ट करी है. तो जब आपने किसके लिए इन्वेस्ट करा है उसको पता नहीं है और वो आगे जाके क्लेम ही नहीं करेगा, तो ये वेल्थ हम किसके लिए क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. सेकेंड, अगर आपने नॉमिनेशन उसमें डाला हुआ है तो वो पैसा उसको जाएगा, बट नॉट नेसेसरी इज द लीगल हेयर ऑफ इट. सो विल हेल्प यू आउट ऑन दैट. एंड थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि सपोज उसमें कोई नहीं है और अगर आपके बच्चे को पता भी है कि चलो ऐसा पैसा कट रहा था, बैंक स्टेटमेंट देख के बच्चे बहुत स्मार्ट होते, पता कर लेते, तो उसको वो क्लेम करने के लिए जो सक्सेशन रन करना पड़ता है ना, दैट इज हैविंग अ वेरी ह्यूज कॉस्ट. कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है वो क्लेम करना छोड़ देते, भाई इतना बड़ा कॉस्ट अगर इस पे लगाना है टू क्लेम दैट सक्सेशन, गो थ्रू सक्सेशन एंड क्लेम दैट अमाउंट, इट्स बेटर आई लीव दैट फंड. तो अगर charity करने की इच्छा है तो there are other ways, and by doing that charity we can even take more benefits into taxation, but not like this. So whatever we are doing, it ensure that the financial planning is also happening in the right frame of law and accounts also, and we are going it in a right way. So coming back to Snehadeep, where creating liabilities is easy, but creating assets is even easier, as you saw. So this is Snehadeep Enterprises, your one-stop finance mart, and I was a speaker for you for the day, Jasmeena Singhani, once again. And here comes a big thank you to all of you for giving us this opportunity to talk. I would personally thank Dr. Smriti Surate, Dr. Jayaganda, Dr. Dushti, Dr. Sanjeev, Dr. Suvarna ji, Dr. Ruchi, Dr. Snehal, Dr. Pooja, Dr. Uttara, Dr. Priya, Dr. Nirali, and especially to all the people who are there on the floor today to hear me out, to give their precious time, to allow me to talk and listen it out. And if there are any questions from any one of you, you're most welcome. I would like to announce one more thing over here is, for all those who have attended this session, we would offer you a half an hour free consulting regarding your existing finances that are going on, and we can consult on the basis of the appointments. You have my numbers from the screen, or I would even circulate in the chat box. So if anyone wants you to pre-book an appointment, we can schedule it out. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Jasmeena. Dr. Drushti will take up the question and answers. Meanwhile, I'll just start with the first question which we have. How can one start with investments?
Investments can be like, see, investment nowadays, you have an option of starting right from 500 rupees. And you can go to that amount, max amount, as per how your accounts or taxations are being declared. Most important thing for starting an investment would be KYC. KYC has to be always ready, and it requires a basic documentations like your PAN, Aadhaar, etc. And once the KYC is done, you're always ready to invest whatever the opportunity comes in.
Okay. Hello, ma'am. This is Dr. Drushti.
Yes.
So the second question that we have is, what are the options other than FD, RD, and gold for investment?
Other than FD, RD, and gold, mutual funds are very good options, wherein also you can invest fixed amounts, just like RD of like 2,000, 3,000 rupees. Like you have FD, we have lump sum investments into it. We also have government bonds, which I showed as an example for a short-term investment. So those come for short-term, medium-term, and long-term all, and they come with a fixed returns. So,
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, can you name some funds which we can start with?
ma'am, this is what I would come back ki, it is not a shopping. Like if I say that ABC scheme of an AMC is really running good, or like in FDs, what happens is you say ki you will get fixed 3% returns. There are schemes that can be announced that, this scheme is good. The scheme is really good, but is it good for you or not? That depends on how your time frames are or how your goals are. So it just takes 10-15 minutes, half an hour discussion to understand, and then understanding how you want it, we can suggest that this could be good for you, or we can propose it rather.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is, what are the basic requirements for starting an investment?
As I said, we just need to do the KYC. It's a small detail, like you need to give PAN card, Aadhaar card, and few email ID, phone number, etc. And the KYC is done, and then you're good to start.
Okay. The next is, how can we decide the amount to be invested every month?
Yeah, this is a good question. So when you are investing, you must be having some mindset for what you are investing. What is the goal? So that goal, once we understand, and what is the time frame we have to reach that goal, what is the cost or the price of that goal? So accordingly, we can derive the amount.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question somebody just asked is, are the government bonds come under tax slab?
Yes, see the income that you're earning out of it, interest, that is taxable and it comes after the TDS deduction. But however, there are some bonds that are tax-free bonds also available in the market.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, would you be able to name any?
Ma'am, that comes on basis on the availability. Like I would announce few them, but they may be available in the market or not. Because bonds are something like in share market में कैसे आपका इक्विटी के शेयर्स ट्रेड होते हैं, तो बॉन्ड्स जो है वो ओपन विंडो पे ट्रेड नहीं होते हैं. दे आर अवेलेबल फॉर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन टू द बैंक एंड वो लोग डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते तो जो चंक तभी अवेलेबल होता है एंड वेदर इट इज गिविंग एन यील्ड ओनली देन यू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट, अदरवाइज यू मे नॉट आल्सो.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, how can we make sure if we are investing better than saving or expensing?
Sorry
Like
मैम.
the question is, how can we make sure that if we are saving better than our expenses?
This again comes in another point of discussion, what is your income? See, ideally, we say that if you are earning 100 rupees and you're within the age of 25, so around 60 rupees should go towards saving and 40 rupees should go for spending. But if you are earning 100 rupees at the age after 25 and somewhere between 35, your in savings or investment should be 50-50. And if you are going after 45, then it will turn to 40-60 ratio. Matlab, as the age grows, your expenses, your responsibilities keep on increasing. So your investment lowers. But there is another way to look at it also. कि जब आप उस एज पे आते हो तो आपका ऑलरेडी ऑनगोइंग कोई एक कैपिटल ऑलरेडी रेडी हुआ रहता है, सो दैट आल्सो शुड बी क्रिएटिंग नेटवर्क. So there are standard ratios of 30-70, but again from individual to individual how it works we can work out.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, ma'am, the
Thank
next question
you.
is,
Rushni, can we pause for 1 minute? We have a state
yeah,
coordinator, Dr. Ganveer ma'am over here, and she wanted to ask something or she wanted to say something. She was raising her hand. So I would
okay, I'm
take this
so sorry.
opportunity to ask Ganveer ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Smriti. Actually, am I audible?
Yes ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Yeah. So thank you, Jasmina, for a very lucid presentation and the tips for investment. I just have one question.
Please.
Like gold has always been, the gold standard investment.
Yes.
Now we have these gold bonds also.
Yes.
So what is better, the physical gold or the gold bonds? What do you suggest?
If that item is not a, if it is from the investment point of view, yes, gold bonds are better. Major reasons for that is, one is normally when you buy a physical gold you invest charges for hiring a locker, so that is not required. उल्टा सामने आपको इंटरेस्ट मिलता है उस पे, गवर्नमेंट गिव्स इट, आरबीआई गिव्स इट. सेकेंड इज के जब आप बॉन्ड्स के फॉर्म में गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स खरीदते हो ना, गोल्ड बॉन्ड के फॉर्म में गोल्ड खरीदते हो, तो उसका जो कैपिटल गेन है, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आज गोल्ड का वैल्यू 70,000 है एंड 8 years लेटर गोल्ड का रेट 1 लाख हो जाता है, तो जो 30,000 विच यू हैव अर्न ना, if it is in the form of gold bond, then that 30,000 is not taxable. But if
Okay.
you have it in physical format, you buy it and then you sell it when the prices have raised, that 30,000 becomes taxable.
Taxable amount. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's great. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Smriti.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Dr. Drishti. Please continue.
Thank you.
Ma'am, you're mute.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so the last question is, what should be the percentage of liabilities to be hedged?
Percentage of liabilities to be hedged. Okay. So if I talk from a banker's point of view, your 60% income, I can take it towards the loan. But if I talk to you from a financial planner prospect, not more than 30% of your income should go towards the loan. And
Okay.
by any chance, if you're doing that, like if you're like, sometimes it happens, property is really good, it's my dream, it's a need also sometimes, a bigger house. So if we are going by that standards, then we can always make some product mix and ensure that whatever extra you're paying it, 10-20%, so that we fetch it back for you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope there are no more questions. Yeah, we are done, ma'am. Yeah, all the questions are answered. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I have posted my contact details under the chat box. If any one of you feel the need at any point in time, please feel free.
Thanks a lot,
Hello,
ma'am,
ma'am.
again.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, tell me.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for the amazing session, Jasmeena, ma'am. And we are thankful to you for educating all of us on financial literacy, which is the need for an hour for everybody, all the physios and otherwise also each and every person. I would extend my deepest gratitude to Dr. Ruchi ma'am for trusting us always as a Thane district team, Dr. Pooja ma'am, Dr. Suvarna ma'am for believing in us, and thankful to the entire state team, Dr. Snehal, Dr. Uttara, Dr. Nirali ma'am, Dr. Priya for their support at all the times. Last but not the least, thank you so much all of you, all the physios who are a part of all this, and thank you so much my team for being there and who have attached to the session today. Hope you all have got the insightful session after this Zoom meeting. Okay. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, Justina ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you once again.
Yes,
Jasmeena
thank
ma'am.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
Jaya. I would like to hand over to Dr. Neha now for concluding. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Smriti ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Jasmeena ma'am, for giving us good insights about today's lecture. It was really very nice to listen to you and have the insightful journey about the financial things. And I would like to let know the subscribers and the viewers that IAP profiles are there on the social media platforms of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. So kindly follow us, all our profiles on these social media to receive the notification for our events such as webinars, workshops, CMEs, conferences, health camps, blood donation drive, and to know more about the recent updates on physiotherapy. As you subscribe onto the IAP YouTube channel for notification of our live webinars, in the playlist section of this channel, you have the webinars which are segregated for the various folders on the topics like orthopedics, neurology, sports and fitness, pediatric, cardiopulmonary, women's health, research, cancer rehab, etc. for the easy access. Thank you once again for all the viewers and all our participants for having us there. Thank you, Thane district team, for conducting this webinar. Thank you one and all. From my side, Dr. Neha Singh from IAP Digital Media team. We thanks a lot.
But not the least, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Neha ma'am, also for being there and being there as a support. We forgot to mention you.
No. That's all right.
Thank
We
you
are
so
always
much.
there as a backup. Yeah. Thank you.
We can quit, right?
यहाँ से ऑटो से मैं तुझे वहां तक कापड़ बोर्ड तक छोड़ दूँ क्या?
Yes.
मोस्टली मैं नीचे से आई गो फ्रॉम डाउन ओनली. आई विल ड्रॉप यू. पीछे बैठ बहुत सामान.